Come in. Come in. Come in, you won't disturb us. I want you to see where I live. I want you to see our settlement, the place I told you about. Because then you'll understand why, for me, for all of us, tomorrow must be a wonderful day. This is the state of Israel. And this is the children's village. All of them are like me. We come from Europe, from the concentration camp. That one is Gabriel, the keeper of the gate, we call him. And this one is Esther, our prize sleepyhead. If you watch, you'll understand how much there was to do the day I came. There was the food to get, the chores to finish, and the birds to feed. They tell me now I looked strange to them the day I came. You looked like a bird, they said, but not like one of ours. You looked like a bird with a broken wing, they say, and I tell them, you washed for me as though it was... And you dressed for me that day. You shined your shoes, didn't you? And made yourselves look neat. You sounded the gong for an early breakfast. And some of you even watched the clock just to be ready to welcome me. But how could I have believed you when you said that Israel was my home? That all of you were brothers? You've got to understand, too, if you want to know why tomorrow will be such a wonderful day. Now I know why they pushed and shoved and ran to be the first to help me out. I know because I can look back. I remember the bus, the road, my first sight of the children's village. I heard you all before I saw you. In the bus, when I tried to tell the others not to trust you, they had shrugged me off. It made me sullen and confused. When I came down, somebody tried to take my things. No, I said, no. The others walked across the grounds like sheep, blind, dumb, like sheep. It's a habit you get when you live in a concentration camp. They just sat where they were told. They were used to it. But I was already wondering. Will the fences be made of barbed wire here, too? Will it be hard to escape if I want to? Because you see, to me, this was just another concentration camp. Now I know that from the very beginning they realized I would have to be treated in a special way, not like the others. The woman took one look at my bag, and remembering others like me, turned and found a closet where I could hide it. It was a good thing she did, too. That bag was all I had, more precious to me than my skin. I smelled the bread a mile off. Bread gets a powerful smell when you've been hungry. I lived so long because I was smart. First thing I always did was to hide away the bread. You can stand anything if you have enough bread. Bread keeps, even if it gets as hard as stone. I felt better now. I had bread. I had bread. I smelled the water, too. Maybe there was a road on the other side. But all I... And kids sitting with their feet in the brook. They didn't notice me, but I noticed something. They had no shoes. They take away his here, too, I thought. You know, whenever I go into the hen yard now, I see again how Miriam came out that day. I mean, it was as though the sun had made her clear, not hazy as all of you were then. She called the kids together as I watched. She didn't see me at first. The kids stood there, delighted by what they saw. I thought, she's awfully pretty. But what does she want? Why does she smile at me? That's enough. Keep on looking for an exit, I told myself. First, gotta find that classroom. One glance and I knew those fools would be sure to talk. I'll have to sit down now. They just better not say anything about me. If you knew as much as I do, you'd never answer questions. Never admit to being a Jew, even to a Jew. I wonder who's first.
Lea Weinstein?
Да.
My God, that Yugoslav. She's sure to say too much.
Kad su došli Njemci smo pobjegli u Italiju. I za mnogo poteškoća nakon... Do you understand?
No. Tell it in English, please.
I Yugoslavi. Learn school, 4 class. Come German. We run Italy. And from Italy to Palestine.
Thank you. That's all. Mordechai Goldman.
Yeah.
Das was gelernt.
Why does he keep asking if we've been to school?
Ich bin auch gewesen, einer von den besten Schülern. Im Jahr 1939, wenn der Mohammed ausgebrochen, bin ich gewesen in der Lodger Ghetto. Bis Jahr 1944. Im 1944 hat mich geschickt in Lager. Und dort bin ich befreit geworden durch die Amerikaner. Bis wo bis gerade Amerika zum Lernen.
It's good you didn't tell how we got out of Poland.
Bergman.
Oui, monsieur.
Don't give the name of the peasant who hid you, André.
Dis-moi, où as-tu étudié? Combien de temps? Où j'ai étudié? Des paysans chrétiens m'ont caché dans leur maison. Ils savaient que j'étais juif et ils m'ont envoyé dans une école de village. Et... oui, dans une école de village.
That's good. Keep quiet now.
Italiano?
There go those twins from Italy. They'll ruin it. Now comes the whole thing, the underground, the Hebrew, the partisan school.
In che scuola avete studiato?
Io ho studiato al ginnasio. Al ginnasio? Non è vero, non farti grande. Noi due abbiamo studiato insieme alla scuola elementare. Ma stai zitto! I tedeschi ci hanno preso e ci volevano portare in campo di concentramento. Però in mezzo alla strada hanno bombardato il treno e noi siamo riusciti a scappare fra partigiani. E lì siamo rimasti fino alla liberazione. Dopo, per la prima volta, abbiamo incontrato i soldati palestinesi e loro ci hanno aiutato. La Madnu Kama Millot Ivri. Non è vero, non si dice Millot, si dice Milli. Milli, ma
You
perché?
clowns arguing over a word.
Parlare, ti parli tutto il tempo.
Oh, what's the use? Go on, we might as well have the whole story from Holland, too.
Hattest du Möglichkeiten zum Lernen gehabt?
Ich hatte auch was anderes tun als zu lernen. Ich war in der Hollandse Ondergrondse. Und ich begrijp, dat was Stage enzovoort. En toen kwam ik naar een concentratiekamp en...
Na, en?
En daar was van leren geen sprake.
Benjamin Hildesheim.
That's me. Why are you all looking at me? I won't tell him anything.
Benjamin Hildesheim.
No matter what he asks, I'll say no.
Du? Du hast was gelernt? Nein.
No. That's all I had said ever since I had come. No. Children did get mail in this village. Yes, they had 2 names each, and somebody knew them both.
Menashe Ben
דיין, מנשה הבר, מנשה חבש, מאיר שייש. זה הכל.
Yes, they had friends who had amusing things to tell, and there was nobody left to write to me. Then, as always, when things got bad, I thought, get moving, go find the gate. Everything astonished me. I couldn't figure it out. How can they skip like that, I thought? What new kind of a trick is this? Their shadows hang in the air when they jump. I didn't like the sight of it, so I moved on. I lost my way and doubled back again to the yard. They're playing ball. I hadn't played ball since I went to the camp, and I was 8 then, or was I only 7? My kid sister used to dance like that. She'd be about 12 now, I guess, judging from the last time I saw her. That's enough. I better get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Everybody seems so taken up with that crazy dancing. I wish that music weren't so loud. I wish they'd stop it. They haven't got any shoes either. I wonder if they do it on purpose. I wonder how it feels to dance without shoes. I thought, that music is awful. And then because I couldn't bear it, I thought with relief of my bread. 3 whole loaves. What would they do to me if they found it? They mustn't find it.
הבט.
זהו הביא מהקרנטן. אין לו אפילו די אמון בנו, שניתן לו מספיק לאכול. לא נגיד לו כלום. לא נבייש אותו.
בחור מתקן.
Now for the first time I was lonely. Maybe because everybody here was doing something. Even the smallest had something to do. Already I noticed the new ones who had come with me, who had lived with me, and almost died with me, were working. I hate work. Didn't you do enough? In the camp we chopped wood for coffins. We made iron for chains. How can you forget so easy? How can you bear the sound of that hammer? It's worse than music. I gotta get out of here. I went to the dumb beasts in the field and met small Benjamin, who touched me. And I touched him. Later, I went to check on my bread. And then it was that Samuel caught me. And asked why I wouldn't work.
Benjamin,
I told him, I worked long enough for Hitler. I have no clear memory of how many days it was before it happened. They were all so easy with me, but it didn't help. You've seen this village, so you know. Everything in this place has a meaning, though it never reached me. From behind dark places, I often saw them run in the sunlight. I heard them sing, and sometimes I found myself wanting to run after them. I even began to envy the nursery children, and to wish I could be small again. And sit there with a book for the first time, and begin from the beginning.
לכד אחד היו 2 שברים גדולים כשני הרים, והיו להם קרניים עד לשמיים.
I had forgotten how to read and write. No matter where I began, it always ended in the same place. That Miriam should be watching me only made it harder. Barbed wire. That's where I always ended. I couldn't bear it that day when she said, forget the past, be like us. Come, let's listen to the music.
Du darfst nicht ständig trachten wegen deiner Vergangenheit.
Heroic.
Komm, Benjamin, komm mit mir, hören wie die Lehrer spielen.
Ich hab gehört genug Musik. In Auschwitz, Buchenwald, genug.
You understand now, Miriam, don't you? I said no to you, too, but I wanted to say, don't go. I've never really explained to you what happened the day they began reaping. I saw them and I thought, forced labor again. My one impulse was to get away. There was one thing worse than prison, work. Joseph confused me. He was talking to the others, and then he was yelling at me, come and help. He gave me the hoe and walked with me to the field. I went without really knowing why. I was so confused. The cattle scared me. And the sight of those bended backs was like touching a raw nerve. The fresh earth reminded me of only one thing, grave. I know just where it happened, but for the life of me, I can't remember the donkey cart or Jacob, though he must have been there that time of day. Or the cows. Nothing. When the others went to lunch, it seemed strange that they should go without a word. Why were they leaving me alone? They went to the corner to eat, of course, expecting me to follow, I guess. But I didn't trust them. And then I turned and walked right by it, right behind the wire. First I didn't see it, then I did. And suddenly, something hit me, right in the back. It was awful. I swear to you, I saw the camp. The wire. I touched it. I felt it like something in a nightmare. The barn behind the wire became the death house, and my turn was next. Down it came. The whip. The whip. And then, like a miracle, it happened. I was going to fight back. No again, but a different no now. This time I'll kill you. You murdered all the others, but not me. I'm strong. I'm young. I can escape. I fought blindly. Then the cows came through the break in the fence. Dazed, seeing the damage they might do, I hit out at them, too. It was the smell that really brought me out of the fog. I looked away down, and I saw what I had done. They saw it, too. And for the first time, I saw it with their eyes. God was good to me, Miriam. I, who was 15, for the first time in 7 years, bowed my head and wept. It was good that it stormed that night. I must have walked for hours. And you know what made me return? A song. We used to sing it in the concentration camp. You know it. Then it struck me. The prison camp is dead. I killed it myself this morning. But the song's alive. And so are the children who used to sing it. And I'm one of them. I thought of my mother. You know, she never came out of that camp. A woman in the window saying goodnight to a child seemed to resemble her. And I actually said, almost out loud, "All right, Nita. I'll work. I'll work." Only to her could I have made that promise. I kept my promise. They asked if I would go on a real hard job. I went. When I got on the truck, they told me our mission. "Look," they said, "see that wilderness? In a season or two, things could grow there. They could. Look," they said, "we're assigned to a village built in this waste by a group that once lived with us. Last year they were children. Now they are building. In this place, they always talk about Earth. Adamah. From Adamah, red earth like this, came Adam, the first man. They say a man has only so much heaven over his head as he has earth under his feet. They talk about it and sing about it, and now for the first time, I was to learn what they meant. You get close to people when you ride in a truck. You can stand up better if you hold on to your neighbor. Well, the dust was thick and the hills were empty. Somebody said, "What they need here are fences." "What kind?" I asked. "Stone," he said. "Not wire?" "No, stone." That was all he said. On the horizon, look. That's where we're going. We came to the sign and it read, "Hill of Youth, Youth Aliyah." Young newcomers like us. I think they chose this place for me on purpose. It was bleak, it was raw, it was hot. But it was alive. If there'd been any green, I don't think I'd have liked it. Some of the others looked worried. It all seemed so dreary and exposed, and so little. I couldn't blame Rachel for being surprised. All that rock, all that sand, all that dust. Oh well, let's go see it. And the more I saw, the better it was. They had so little. 2 horses and a few chickens. "They have no trees," said Rachel. "They'll soon plant a forest," said Leah.
אין אפילו עץ. בקרוב יהיה יער שמן.
Yes, that's what they need. And later. First, fences, strong walls, stone. I know stone. For 7 years, it was my enemy. You have to find the crack and hit again. But what I did not know is that in this land, they seek a treasure under the stone. God needed earth to make a man. I needed earth to become a man. I found myself wanting to give directions. I thought, I'm glad we have a tractor. That's what I said. Then I saw that big monster. It had to come out. The chain, the motor. It was like an operation. Pull it out, I thought. It's an enemy. It groaned like a beast and tore. Like a great tooth. And when it was out, a kind of ache was gone. I looked around. Come on. Now to get to work, Benji. could never bear fences, was also building a wall. You know that old folk song we used to sing? What is wall? A wall is the limit of a place or a man. And what lies near? Sometimes a grave, sometimes a good earth. They told me later, we decided to rebuild you, Benjamin. Benjamin had to build a wall. When the work was finished, we were hungry and tired and proud. Better hurry, somebody said. We must return in time for the Sabbath. We made a kind of little parade with me at the head of it. The Sabbath. God rested on the seventh day from all the work which he had made, and he blessed it. For me, too, came the Sabbath. You all know, that was the first time in 7 years I had heard that blessing. That Sabbath night, I really saw you all for the first time. That night, I really slept well for the first time. And yet, 2 weeks later, during the music festival, I realized that I still had a long way to go. Samuel says now, your body was well, but your soul was sick. When the boy asked, why don't you go in? It was no again. No thanks. I needed a friend badly that morning, Miriam. Again, I found myself wishing I could be a child. Which may explain why I went when small Benjamin asked me. He would always stop and tell me with pride whenever he saw me, my name is Benjamin, too.
מה נעשה? שמעתי שהילדים שלנו בכפר קוראים לך בנימין. מדוע לא אמרת לי? יחד, אורך בנימין. אורך.
I've learned one thing in this village. Not to be afraid of the big words, like spirit and soul and love. That morning I stopped saying no. Because a child had brought me into this room to hear music played with toys. A great symphony would have been too much. But this I could understand. My soul could understand. After all, these children too had been cured by music. I'm watching you, small Benjamin. Go on. Whistle again. Stand up for your rights, Benjamin. Go ahead, come. I know, Miriam, what my father meant when he said, music is better than language. The little one asked if I liked it. I answered in Hebrew, 10, yes. You were listening to someone, but you heard it too. You never looked up, but you heard me say yes. I began to think of a poem I would make for you, Miriam. And it ran through my head all the next morning. It was a wonderful morning. And my poem tried to catch the smell of the garden, the plum blossoms, the African daisy, the hollyhock. You interrupted. We're cutting wheat today, you called when you went by. I heard you all singing. I wanted so much to go. I had cut wheat before, but now I wanted to be in line with you, Miriam. To sing, too. I did march, but I was not yet able to sing. That rich, fat wheat. You know what I thought as we worked? I want my blade to be the sharpest. I want my scythe to cut the cleanest. I'm glad I am the head of this line. I like this heat. I wonder how much bread this wheat could make. This wheat is ours. Now all of us have enough bread. Next year, I too will be planted. A boy sometimes becomes a man in a single afternoon. Just look how easy it was to extend my hand and share their laughter and touch and be touched by my friends. I think we both looked for each other that afternoon, didn't we, Miriam? I wanted to prove to you that I could also drink from that funny-looking jug. But I made a mess of it. And then you laughed and took it from me and taught me how. And I was sure then that you would go to the gathering of the first fruits with me. I followed you to invite you. I have since shown you the poem I wrote. It may not be very good, perhaps, but it says what I mean. The trumpet, like a king, called up the richness of the earth, and in the hands of all the dispossessed comes forth the only treasure of great worth. Food for the body, and for the soul, rest. Israel, gnarled and ancient, tough and youthful tree, is clothed today with whiteness and with song. Only these, the children, understand our jubilee. We, no more the lost, are now the strong. I studied hard that year. I had a great hunger to know my people's history. I haunted our museums. The ancient relics of our nation fascinated me, especially the relics of the Maccabees, whose caves were near our village. When Hanukkah came, the memorial week of these fighters of old, I prepared to go to their tombs at Modi'in, not knowing the honor you would give to me, not dreaming that I could be worthy to kindle the traditional flame in this holy place.
חברים, אני אקריא כעת לפניכם מספר החשמונאים.
When Israel was young, invaders came, but the Maccabees... Samuel turned to me and said, "We have chosen you, Benjamin, to bring the light of the Maccabees back to our village." It was as though a great door had opened up for me. I said to myself, "You who have no father are now a son in Israel, Benjamin. Kindle the light." And run, Benjamin, run. Run from the hill of sorrow and leave it behind you. Let your feet be swift. Let your head be high. Remember, there are comrades on every side. They all seem to be calling out to me. Run for your village, Benjamin. We need you, Benjamin. Run for your country. You are not alone. Behind you lies the blackness of our history. Before you, a new life. You are the first. So run, Benjamin. Up there is the door. Up there is your victory. Now I knew this was a race for life. Today is done. Tomorrow now begins. Never before in my life had I been so at peace. I, too, now fitted like a fragment, a small stone into an ancient pattern. I, who knew the dark ways of men, was now a bearer of light. They had trusted this beacon to me, and I knew exactly what I had to do, to set it before my village and my people. Look, Miriam, this is my torch. I knew the prayer before it was said. I, too, thank you, God, for myself and for Israel. We kindle these lights on account of the miracles, the deliverances, the wonders which thou didst work for our fathers in this season. Never again can it be dark for me. of ages, let our song praise thy saving power. Thou among the raging foes were a sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but thine arm availed us, and thy word broke their swords when our own strength failed us.